Transcribed. Okay. Hi, all. Welcome. 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 We're going to give everybody a few minutes to get logged in. So just bear with us here for a little bit, couple of minutes. All right, folks, as I said, we're going to give everybody until about 6:02 to get logged in. So, there we are. So once we hit 6:02, we'll go ahead and get started. So thanks for your patience. And Amy and Robin, as I said, once 6:02 hits, I'm going to give my little introduction and then I hand it off to you both. Welcome, folks. Welcome, folks. We're going to get started here very, very shortly in about 15 seconds or so. All right. So hello and welcome to this evening's Zoom webinar that's being produced by the Honors College at West Virginia University. This event is the second faculty fellow lecture taking place this fall semester. These lectures are designed to allow each Honors College Fellow an opportunity to provide an inside look into the innovative course they are currently teaching within the Honors College and will be teaching next spring semester. I am Damian Clement, Associate Dean of the Honors College at WVU. Tonight's lecture is entitled People-Friendly Design by Dr. Robin Hensel, Teaching Professor for the Fundamentals of Engineering program in the Statler College of Engineering and Mineral Resources, and Dr. Amy Hirshman, Associate Professor of Anthropology in the Eberly College of Arts and Sciences. We will follow our standard Zoom webinar format this evening. After the presentation, we will host an open question and answer session. Since we're using the Zoom webinar platform for this lecture, before we begin, let me review some of the features that will help you experience this evening's lecture in the best possible way. If you have any issues with audio or video at any point during the webinar, be sure to check your personal Zoom settings and your computer volume control. If you have questions, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. Due to enhanced security protocols, webinar attendees will not be able to see other questions, only their own. To ask a question, you must click on the Q&A button. A separate screen will appear. Then you may type your question. The presenters will answer all your questions live at the end of the presentation. If live captioning has been requested, it can be viewed by clicking the CC button at the bottom of your screen. If live captioning was not requested, a captioned version of the recording will be available at honors.wvu.edu. And now let's get started with this evening's lecture. So it is my pleasure to hand over the mic and proverbial screen to Dr. Hensel and Dr. Hirshman. So I'm going to stop my share. Now it's all you. Now you guys can take over.
Thank you, Damien. It's great to be here. And I am now going to also share my screen. So we can do this. Hopefully you can see that.
Yes. Yes, I can.
I lost him.
No, that's fine. I'm okay. I'm here, but I can see the screen.
Okay. But we can't see you now, so this is interesting. I'm not sure where you went.
No, I turned my camera off, so that's why you can't see me.
I can't see him. Okay.
Yep.
So we will just start.
Yes.
Welcome everyone to People-Friendly Design. This has got to go here. Great. Tonight, what we're going to talk about is we're first going to introduce the course concept, the topic that we have come up with, and we'll introduce ourselves and kind of how we got into this topic, into this course. Then we're going to talk about the three primary elements of the course: ethnography, design, and teamwork. And then we're going to spotlight what we are most excited about in this course. And finally, we're going to talk about the course learning outcomes and how they are valued life skills and who should take this course. So hopefully by the end, you'll have a really good perspective of what the course is about and will want to do it. So, do sidewalks always lead you to where you want to go? Have you ever tried to push a door that you really needed to pull? It just wasn't quite the right thing. And sometimes when, have you ever entered a building? Do you sometimes have difficulty finding the correct room? Too often, design has unintended consequences because things actually influence our behavior, and we don't always think about that. This course is about designing things for people, actual people to use. So our students are going to start the human-centric process by observing people, figuring out things that really just don't work. And then they're going to be creative and come up with ways to solve those problems. That's basically the entire course in a nutshell. So why do we care? Why do we want things to be people-friendly? Here's an example of something that isn't.
There's this door on the 10th floor of the...
Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so you can, I'm gonna
Yes, I can see it and hear it.
Okay, making sure.
Vox Media office that I hate so much.
God damn it. You ever get this door wrong?
Pretty regularly.
Have you seen people misuse it?
All the time, every day. Constantly. I hate this door.
Me too, Kelsey. But here's the thing. As soon as you start looking for confusing doors, they are everywhere.
It's push.
Why?
I feel like Roman Mars would know about this.
This is 99% invisible, and those doors you hate are called Norman doors.
What's a Norman door?
Don Norman wrote the essential book about design. He is the Norman of the Norman door.
All right, and where is this guy?
You must go to San Diego.
Okay. Hi, Joe. Hey.
I'm Don Norman. It's hard to describe what I am.
Well, he's been a professor of psychology, professor of cognitive science, professor of computer science, a vice president of advanced technology at Apple. But for our purposes,
I was spending a year in England, and I got so frustrated with my inability to use the light switches and the water taps and the doors even, that I wrote this book.
If I continually get a door wrong, is it my fault?
No. In fact, if you continually get it wrong, it's a good, and if other people continually get it wrong, good sign that it's a really bad door.
a Norman door is one where the design tells you to do the opposite of what you're actually supposed to do, or gives the wrong signal and needs a sign to correct it.
Why does it need an instruction manual? That is, why do you have to have a sign that says push or pull? Why not make it obvious?
It can be obvious if it's designed right.
There are a couple of really simple, basic principles of design, and one of them I'll call discoverability. When I look at something, I should be able to discover what operations I can do.
The principle applies to a whole lot more than doors.
And it's amazing with many of our computer systems today. You can look at it, there's no way of knowing what's possible. Should I tap it once or twice or even triple tap? So discoverability, when it's not there, well, you don't know how to use something.
Another is feedback.
And so many times there's no feedback. You have no idea what happened or why it happened.
And these principles form the basis of how designers and engineers work today, commonly known as user or human-centered design.
I decided at one point the word user was a bit degrading. Why not call people people? And it's amazingly simple and amazingly seldom practiced. We call it iterative because it sort of goes around in a circle. We go out and we observe what is happening today. We observe people doing the task. And from that we say, oh, we have some ideas. Here's what we should perhaps propose to do.
Then you prototype your solution and test it.
Quite often these are wrong at first, but each time we go around the circle, we do a better job of making the device until the point we're actually making something that really works.
And this process has spread all over the world.
And it turns out it's improving lives.
From better everyday things like the ones that Don wrote about,
To using the same process to solve huge problems in public health in developing countries.
water,
Sanitation,
farming.
lots more. So what'd be a better human-centered door?
An ideal door is one that as I walk up to it and walk through it, I'm not even aware that I had opened the door and shut it. So if you had a door which had a flat plate, what could you do? Nothing. The only thing you can do is push. So see, you wouldn't need a sign. A flat plate, you push.
This kind of push bar with the piece sticking out on one side works well too, so you can see what side you're supposed to push on.
The vertical bars could go either way. A simple little hand thing, though, sort of indicates pull.
But we still have terrible, terrible doors in the world. So many of them.
There are lots of things in life that are fairly standardized, and therefore, whether I buy this house or not is not a function of whether it has good doors in it. And so, except for safety reasons, doors tend not to be improved.
But the tyranny of bad doors must end.
I think that it's a really shitty design. The fact that they put a pull handle when it's a push. And it should be a flat panel right here. And not a pull handle. That's how I feel about the store. It's very misleading. I agree.
You're right, Becky. You're goddamned right. And if we all thought like you, well, we might just design a better world together.
It won't open because it's a security door.
What the f are you two doing?
Hey, so as you can see,
Okay. So that's an example of a Norman door and something that just doesn't work. So through this course, we're hoping to observe other things specifically on our campus and then innovate ways so that they will work. So, okay. So I'm Dr. Robin Hensel. I am a STEM educator. I have taught math and computer science. I currently teach in engineering. I've done research in STEM education. I've worked at the Department of Energy, done a lot of things. I'm a first generation college student, so I can understand some of you who are also first generation college students. But that's who my background is, and I bring kind of the technology side to this partnership. And I was asked by a colleague of mine who has moved on to Purdue. I was invited to participate in a much larger research study project about interdisciplinary research at large institutions and how that works, or interdisciplinary courses even at large institutions. To participate in that work, I needed to find an anthropologist, and I happened to know Dr. Hirshman. And I was like, oh, I know an anthropologist, so I'm going to see if she wants to do this. And fortunately, she said yes. And we submitted our application, and here ends the course. So now I'm going to introduce my partner in crime.
Well, I'm Dr. Amy Hirshman, and I'm an anthropologist. I'm in the Department of Sociology and Anthropology here at WVU. Anthropology is a big, huge field, and my specialty within it is archaeology, which means that I typically study people in the past. And what most of my research is studying ceramic artifacts from Western Mexico. And in studying those ceramic artifacts, I'm interested in understanding the people who made them and the people who used them, and the economic system that the pottery moved within. And so as an archaeologist, I'm very used to thinking through the entire, basically, manufacture, design, and use and discard process that artifacts go through. So I'm kind of used to thinking a lot about ceramics, but when Dr. Hensel invited me to be part of this course, I realized that I actually have been thinking about ideas that really fit well in this class for quite some time. And so on the slide in front of you, on the far left, you can see a book by Henry Petrosky, one of my favorite books ever. It's The Evolution of Useful Things. And basically it's the origin story of everyday items like forks, and why forks have 4 tines, and paper clips, and that paper clips really are a form of a spring, and cans and can openers. And he has 2 main points that he's making in the book. The first is that designers are actually inventors, innovators, or critics. They are looking at something that is working, but not really working well enough for them. And they think they can make it better. They can tinker and make it better. And the other key point that he makes is sometimes innovations come before people are ready to have those innovations, and that innovations need to make sense within the culture and to the people that you want to market stuff to. So that's Petrosky. In the middle is Genevieve Bell. She's a culture anthropologist. I actually had the opportunity to meet her here at WVU a few years ago. And Dr. Bell is a cultural anthropologist who took her cultural anthropology tools, especially ethnography, and started to use them to design products. And so she went from a faculty position to Intel and worked for Intel for quite some time. And now she's back in academia working on cybernetics. But basically, the work I'm most familiar with her is her work at Intel. And one of them was this car project that she did. She traveled to a lot of different places around the globe. She was really interested in understanding how people interacted with technology in their car. But to do that, she wanted the whole context of how people actually use their cars. And so she would have people unpack everything out of their car. They would catalog it, take a photo of it, get the story behind every single one of those items, and then give them back. But they were trying to figure out how people actually lived out of their cars so that they could figure out the little piece of how people actually use technology. And then on the right-hand side, there is Daniel Miller. He was trained as an archaeologist, and he also studied pottery. And then he realized, there seems to be other ways that that he could use his ideas as an archaeologist. And so he started thinking a little bit more and more within a social anthropology sort of framework and using ethnography. The book Stuff is kind of a retrospective of some of his studies. And one of his key ideas is that things should be humble. And by humble, he means they should be things that we don't even think about. But the objects that we are interacting with every day, the doors that you should be able to walk through without thinking about, those are humble. The moment you have to think about what it is you're interacting with, so a door that doesn't open, then it's no longer humble, and it actually no longer has power over you. It's just annoying, and it needs to be fixed. So those are three sort of very academic kind of influences on my thinking about these kinds of things. One really long-term influence was the cartoon that's on this slide. My father worked in IT. Basically, that cartoon sat, with a magnet on our refrigerator for years growing up. And so I think I was kind of primed as a kid to start thinking about design. So basically, this is a class where anthropology and ethnography is meeting design and engineering, and we're going to try to bring those together to essentially provide some practical skills, but also the opportunity to define a problem and to find a solution to that problem. All right, so the first key step in this whole thing is ethnography. And basically, you're going to observe that there's some problem, or somebody's going to point out that there's a problem, and you want it to be, you decide this is the thing that you're going to work on. So you talk to people, you figure out what's really going on. And in the graphic there, you've got ethnography coming in as sort of an early part of the process, but then it drives the iterative process of the design and the redesign. You are basically taking this information from folks, you're talking to them, you're learning what they know about the problem, and you are going to use that in the design process. So ethnography in anthropology really comes out of early fieldwork studies. So up in the upper corner there, the black and white photo, that's actually Margaret Mead and her husband, Gregory Bateson, about 1938. And it comes out of, anthropologists tend to study people in different cultural contexts. And so we have something that we call participant observation, where we really try to dial in to understand what it means to be a person in this other culture. And so you are deeply immersing yourself in this culture. You're asking a lot of questions, you're making a lot of observations, you're writing it all down, you're taking care of all those details and paying attention to them. When you're done, then we have another use of the word ethnography, where we tend to write all that up then in a summary or a narrative of what has been learned. And so this is just core anthropology technique, methodology that we use. Go ahead. Now, in this class, we're not going to do participant observations so much, because what we're really going to lean into is the fact that all of you guys are experts in this culture. And so we want you to bring that expertise. Then you're going to add to that expertise. You're going to learn more about your problem, to identify the problem through observation, through interviewing, through listening to folks, and through really paying attention in, again, that really detailed way, how people are interacting with their built environment. We want you to identify a problem that arises from something on campus that is currently poorly designed for human use, or maybe like the young woman there with the milk carton, something that can be redesigned for better use, and then apply what you have learned to define the problem and then ultimately to solve the problem. So in terms of developing that skill in this class, we start with 3 ethnographic observation assignments. The first one, or 3 ethnographic assignments. The first one is observation. You're not talking to folks, you're just observing. The second one is mapping, so paying close attention to the built environment and then observing how people move through that space. And then the third one is actually interviewing, and that is when you start to talk to folks. Then we will move into the larger design project for the semester, but you will use those 3 skills over and over as you're collecting more data and as you are thinking through the problem and how to redesign it. Another key piece of ethnography is paying attention to the fact that you are actually working with people, and people and basically they're part of your research. And so human subjects, human people in research need to be protected. And so we spend some time talking about ethics in the course, and we also we require all the students to take the city training course. The city training course is a nationally recognized credential. It is something that you can put on your resume, and it's good for 5 years. It is also transferable. So if you're thinking, well, maybe I want to, instead of just getting a job right out of school, I want to go to grad school, you should be able to transfer that credential to the school that you go to graduate school at.
Okay. So once we've observed people and places on campus and interviewed, we do all of that, and then we start the design process. And part of that is we're going to define a problem. So we're looking for something that just isn't working on campus. Sometimes we have to refine that problem. We have to be really specific, look at what the parameters are. Sometimes the problem isn't what we initially see, so we have to dig and find the right problem. Once we define it and define it clearly, then we can start the process of solving that problem. And one of the first things we do is we look at how have other people solved it. We do a little bit of research, say, did somebody else solve this already? If not, who does this problem affect? Who are our stakeholders? We can talk to them and find out what part of this thing really bugs them. And maybe that way we get some more ideas of how we could possibly solve it. We get together, the students get together in groups, they brainstorm, they come up with all sorts of possible solutions. The more ideas, the better. And then they start to test their various solutions and see, in that process, some solutions are going to rise to the top, others will probably get discarded, some will be changed a little bit. And ultimately, we're going to look at the cost benefit of some of them. We have some ways to decide which might be our top 1, maybe 1 to 3 solutions. We keep iterating till we get really one good solution. At the point where we think we have solved the problem, we have a solution and we like it. At that point, we share it, right? We make it a little bit more public, and then we get more feedback. From that feedback, we use that to again refine. We go through the entire process and refine our product again and again until we come up with something that's actually usable. That's basically the engineering design process. And when we look at it from the anthropological perspective, I found there are 4 major principles in their design process. One is finding the root issues. Again, in problems that deal with people and cultures and societies and things like that, not just technical things, often what we see is not the actual problem to be solved. We see a symptom of the real disease, right? So in this process, they focus on people. They take a broader systems perspective, realizing that when we look at the way people interact with things in culture, with other people, things like that, there may be more complications involved with that. And so they're going to look at the interdependencies that are involved. Again, they want to test and refine any proposals of solutions because obviously, typically the first thing we come up with isn't always our best solution. It might be a great start, but there are ways to make it better. And so when I looked at that, when I looked at how anthropologists solve or ethnographers solve problems and how engineers solve problems, there is a lot of similarities. We all define the problem. We find different ways to solve it and come up with ideas for that. We test our solutions and we continually iterate, just like Norman said on that. And so there's a lot of similarities between the two processes. Another thing that in engineering we emphasize is the teamwork. In this course, students are going to work in teams. They're going to work in teams both to define the issues and to come up with solutions. One of the reasons we work in teams is that often new ideas are born out of existing ideas, and the more people you have, the more other ideas you have that you could maybe combine to make a new idea, right? A new product. The more diverse your teams are, the better. If we don't have different perspectives or talk to other people with different perspectives, then we end up making decisions in our own, often very limited experience that we have, oh, this is the way we think it is, this is the only way it could be, and that's not necessarily the case. A solution we might come up with might not work for many different people in the situation. An example we often use in engineering of a very limited perspective and not a diverse perspective in solving a problem is about facial recognition. When facial recognition software was initially created, it was created in two parts of the world at roughly the same time period. And in the United States, this is a famous problem. The original facial software, it was created here in the US by a pretty homogeneous team of people. And it often didn't recognize brown faces. It often didn't recognize faces of people from Asian descent, right? It recognized kind of your white male face. And that's what it had. At about the same time, facial recognition was developed in Japan as well. And interestingly enough, that software recognized people with the facial features of people of Japanese descent. It didn't recognize me, for example, a person that's not from Japanese descent, right? So we have two situations in different parts of the world with the exact same problem. And so when we look at things and we bring people in with different backgrounds, different perspectives, we start to develop products that really work. They're more robust. They work for everybody, especially if we're looking in a global culture, global place. So we know that when people come together from different backgrounds, they usually come up with a better solution. In some of my research, I have discovered that there have been many people who researched teamwork and diversity in teamworks, and diverse teams have been shown to be more effective at solving specifically complex and challenging problems. The more complex the problem is, the more diverse of the team you need, and they've actually been shown to be better at solving that, primarily probably because they have a different diversity and a lot of different perspectives. More eyes, better product usually. So what are we most excited about in this course? Well, we are most excited about the creativity that our students are going to bring to this. I'm really fascinated to see what problems they identify on campus, and I'm really curious to see what kind of solutions they're going to come up with for these problems. Ultimately, they're going to make our campus a better place to be, and I'm just really excited about the energy and the creativity that they bring.
All right, so let's share the student learning outcomes for the class. As you read the list there, you can see that we are highlighting very practical skills. And again, we're not trying to turn you into ethnographers, engineers, perfect designers, perfect team members. We're trying to give you the opportunity to move ahead in each of those skills and in your overall skill set. So you'll notice that our course learning outcomes emphasize research and design skills, but they also emphasize communication and collaboration skills. These actually turn out to be really important to employers. And in 2015, the American Association of Colleges and Universities did a study where they were surveying students and employers. And this is the last time they did this particular study. I'm sure they're going to come back around to it at some point. But what they found is at an 80% or higher rate, the skills that kept coming up over and over again were written and oral communication skills, teamwork skills, ethical decision-making, critical thinking, and the ability to apply knowledge in real world settings, which is basically what we're doing. When we just stop and think about ethnography, ethnography forces you to be interactive with people. And as a result, it actually highlights a slightly different kind of set of skills, in addition to reinforcing the ones that were on the previous slide. So in terms of what ethnography and the field work can bring for you, directed learning, which is perhaps a phrase you've not heard of. Basically, it's the ability to say, okay, I'm looking for this, but I'm going to be open to whatever else kind of comes my way. And so it's that ability or that alertness to be able to pay attention to the unexpected. It'll help you with curiosity, or it should help you with your curiosity, cultivate that as a habitual kind of mindset. It will help you think through questions and how to ask good questions, and then to listen so that you can actually hear the information when it's being given to you. To negotiate with folks, to network, because you're going to have to talk to a lot of different people, and sometimes it isn't this person, it's actually the next person that they introduce you to that you really need to talk to the most. Adaptability. Field work is not linear. Field work requires you to be able to say, oh, yep, that appointment didn't go very well, or that person didn't show up, but we can just, reschedule. That's fine. We'll just do that. It'll work on your communication skills because you have to be able to talk about your research. And it'll help you with recognizing, respecting, and working with differences among people as well. And then finally, of course, it's also a key piece in critical thinking. All right, so the question is, who should take this class? Well, we believe, being interdisciplinary ourselves, that if you're in STEM, if you're in the social sciences, if you're in the creative arts, if you're in the humanities, if you're in any major, basically we believe every single one of you could benefit from this class, because what we're doing is helping you move ahead in your skill set. And actually, we want that interdisciplinary creativity that you would bring. I have to admit, when we first started talking about this course, we were thinking engineering and anthropology students, but frankly, the creativity transcends any kind of major boundary. And so we think that any single one of you would be able to step into this class and be successful in it.
Those are references. Mm-hmm. And that's all we have for now. And so we can open it for questions, but I have to say stop sharing. Oh, there we came back.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much. All right, attendees, what type of questions would we have for Dr. Hensel and Dr. Hirshman? It sounds like a very interesting and intriguing course from my perspective. Let's see. Okay.
Can we see them?
No, we can't.
Okay.
It's a webinar.
Okay, yeah, the webinars we can't see.
No, it's just the three of us. All right. Well, I mean, I guess we don't have questions yet, so I guess I can ask some things right now. So what do you think what has surprised you all the most so far about the course?
I have been blown away by the creativity that I've already seen in the students that we have this semester. So basically the big project will start tomorrow. So we haven't fully stepped across that threshold yet, but just in terms of where people have made decisions about where to make their observations or how they're interacting with one another in the classroom and dealing with the different kinds of hypotheticals that they have been asked to kind of, think through in class. We have some really just fantastic, really smart, really thoughtful and creative folks in class. And that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I see some questions coming in here. So, the first one here, is it hard for students to find a problem on campus, or is it more difficult to find a solution?
We don't know that yet. When the project starts, they will be looking to identify their problems. So I don't know. It could be either. Once they find a problem, the solution might be hard or it might be easy. But yeah, they'll be looking for them beginning this week.
Okay.
In earnest, yeah.
Yeah, in earnest. They had a few ideas so far, but
Okay. Can you tell us some of these ideas so far?
Well, we haven't really started the large group projects yet, but in class yesterday, we were talking about interviewing, and the interviewing assignment is basically to ask other people if they see problems on campus. So basically, we're trying to really expand sort of the number of brains that are inputting into the brainstorming for the different problems that could be on campus. And so I was working with one group of students, and they were like, well, how do we even like start the conversation? I'm like, well, you just, introduce yourself, explain what you're looking for. And if you have any problems on campus. And I actually I acted it out with one of the students in the group. And the student kind of looked at me for a moment, and then he totally role played, and he thought, and he says, oh, we need scales in the gym. And it's like, well, that actually could be a pretty simple, straightforward, problem and solution. But it really, once he just concentrated on it, it didn't take any time at all. So that was kind of a fun moment. And I think it was fun for him because I don't think he had been thinking of a lot of problems before that moment.
Some of our students, even as they walk in, because we've been talking about this for several weeks now, as they walk in and the room was hot and stuffy, we got those comments. A couple of doors were a little hard to push open, and they were like, well, how do we get to this room? And so they're noticing things. Right now, they're just kind of bringing them up. But literally, as they just walk through their day, they're paying attention. And so we'll see what they actually identify as things worth looking at solving versus not.
Okay, cool. I see a question here that's probably more for me. Could we take this class as an elective if it's not part of our major? Yes, you can absolutely take the class as an elective. It will count towards your elective credits, and it will also count towards your honors foundation requirement. Okay, question for you all. What resources can you use to make sure that your design is human-centered?
There's a lot of resources. I mean, so to make sure it's human-centered, the biggest thing you want to do is test it. Right. So once you create the product, try it, put it out there, see how other people interact with it. You're going to know what to do, right? Just if we use the Norman door as an example, or a door, often there are problems because the person who created the door already knows what they're expecting and they don't think, but put it out there and see if other people do what you expect them to do, or do they do something different? That's one of the ways to do that. So we'll have they will be making prototypes, so to look at various things.
Okay. I don't see any other questions here. What if you had to, you had to give students an elevator speech? You got like 1 minute to tell them why they should take this course and what they're going to get out of it. What's your sorry to be putting you all on the spot here, but just trying to killing time till some people develop some questions. So what do you all got?
Well, I think that you should take the course because it will not only enhance your creativity and your critical thinking skills, it's fun because you get to look at things on campus and figure out how to solve problems. And you're going to be building your resume because you're going to be using skills. You can talk about this project as you apply for jobs and how you creatively solve something. You will have the city ethics, human research credential. So it will benefit you in many ways no matter what career you go into. Every career needs communication, critical thinking skills, and problem solving skills. And this combines all of them.
Nice. I see it looks more like a statement. I don't think it's a question, so I'm just going to read it. And I'm going to butcher this name, but I think they're talking about the CCA, the Creative Arts Center, Canady, or however you pronounce that, Art Center is not very human-centered. It's like a maze. I see a lot of potential change there with this course. So I think it's a statement.
I know exactly what they're talking about, especially the practice rooms. Once you get below the main entranceway, it is true. Truly a maze in there. Yes.
Cool, that's cool. Question here. Are the solutions that students come up with actually carried out through campus, or will the solutions that the students come up with actually be carried out throughout campus? I don't.
That is a great question because we would love it to be. At this point, we don't know what it probably depends on the cost of involved in fixing this and coming up with the ideas. But we will probably work through you and others to be able to find ways, if it's a good idea, to try to see if we can get it implemented. I'd love it if this actually turned into real projects.
Okay. Good question here for you. What would the benefits of this course be for someone looking to go into the medical field?
So, do you want to handle it, or?
I'll start. Let me start, and
Okay.
you can clean up what mess I'm about to make.
Okay.
So I have a very strong feeling about this. People going into the medical field really need to understand that while they may become experts in medicine, that's half the equation. They need to actually trust and respect the person who the patient that they're going to be interacting with, because people's bodies are individual. We react differently to various drugs, to procedures, to all sorts of things. And one of the biggest problems I have encountered in the medical profession is that doctors, nurses, whatever, often think they know better. And I will tell them, no, in my body, things act differently, right? And they don't believe me until they mess something up. So the whole point of being human-centric and being able to listen, one of the things we focus on are listening skills, so that you can listen to your patients and really hear what they're saying, will make you a much better doctor or nurse, whatever you're going into. Anesthesiologists, just as a point of fact, anesthesiologists actually probably have the best appreciation of this than others, because they realize, for example, I have red hair. You probably, I don't know if you can see it. Redheaded people react differently to a lot of anesthesia drugs. And so they have to be extra careful as far as when they put people under or not, or waking them up or things like that. The rest of the medical community is probably currently less focused on that. And that is something that really they need to be. Now you can clean up my mess, because, I was more on the negative side. I get that. I've just recently been through a medical experience where they messed up. So because they didn't listen to me, but go ahead.
One of our earlier examples that we use in the class is about MRI machines. And it's a video. So it's a TED Talk, basically, that we are sharing very specifically with the students. But the speaker talks about how MRI machines are very sterile. They're intimidating. They're in, this very officious kind of medical context. And when you have children who need an MRI, it can be so intimidating as to be terrifying. And he had just redesigned or designed a new machine. It had just been installed. He was about to watch it, be used on its first day. He was so excited. And the first patient was a child who was terrified. And he's like, oh, I didn't actually design this very well, because there shouldn't be this much stress coming into this kind of test. And so he's been at the forefront of this large project at multiple hospitals where they have been basically redesigning the MRI machine rooms to make them children friendly. And they all have these different themes, and there's like basically a story that they develop to go with the theme of the room, to essentially immerse the child in this fantasy world so that they will lay there perfectly still and, be able to have the test run in the way that it needs to be run. And so I'm sure, not everybody who's thinking pre-med or pre-nursing or something is necessarily thinking MRIs, but basically this is the kind of creativity that you can bring into any career path, but including medicine, to see how the processes and the systems that are important and that need to get done within medicine can be tweaked so as to make it more comfortable for the patients. And in this case, particularly for children.
Okay. It's a cool question here. Any indication that students are becoming hyper aware, in parentheses, of all sorts of things that could be modified and made better? Has an innovation switch flipped on? in parentheses, thinking of future Shark Tank episodes packed with WVU students with redesigned ideas.
That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
That would be great.
Especially if y'all start making money, you can start, giving
Donate
money
it.
back, donate
Donate
it
to
back as
WVU.
alumni. Yeah. I don't know that we have quite fully turned that switch on yet, but I think it's coming. So I think that we're going to have a whole lot of ideas. I think some of the groups are going to have trouble narrowing down what it is they want to focus on.
There's another comment here, maybe a question, I don't know. It says, have any of your students pointed out the stairs in the mountain layer? The railing cuts part of the stairs off at the bottom. I didn't even.
Do you mean the stairs that go from like where the food court is and up? Because I think those are really weird stairs.
I didn't even think about that. I was thinking about outside, but okay, I did not think of the inside ones. Yeah, that go up by the food court.
Yeah, those are weird stairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know that we have the budget to redo the entire staircase, but they're weird stairs.
Yes, it's the first to the second floor.
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
those are
Yeah,
strange.
those are really weird stairs. I agree.
Okay, well, let's
Well,
see.
the audience is actually coming up with ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is
Well,
good. This is good.
I mean, I can't think, I think about too many doors now, having watched that video multiple times that we started with. Doors are like my thing. I'm a little obsessed with doors. The doors on the first floor, I just moved into Field Hall, and the doors on the first floor do not work very well. They're intuitive, but they don't work very well.
Well, you know what? One of the things I don't see any more questions here. Okay, the course sounds similar. Okay, this is a statement. I think it's a statement. I'm not sure. This course sounds similar to the Launch Lab in a sense. This has big connections to entrepreneurship. So I think that's a comment.
You go.
Yes, actually, the course is based, the course that we have developed is based on a course at a different institution where they actually paired an anthropologist, an engineer, and someone from their business college to take it to the next step to then turn it into a marketable product, which is where the Launch Lab would come in our case. We had originally planned to do that. And unfortunately, with the cuts last year at WVU, our business partner lost his position. And so we knew that at the beginning of last year, when we went to propose it, we just did it of the two of us. And if a student comes up with a really good idea, we will put them in contact with the Launch Lab. So that they can do that.
I remember that there was a third person.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
all
so
right,
he's no longer here, and so
Yeah.
we're doing it, but we will put them in contact. If they have an idea that is a good one and might be marketable, we would certainly help them get in contact with somebody who can help them develop it further.
Nice question here. Has any students recommended to fix the PRT?
Not yet, but we might see that one coming. Does break down a lot.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
A very good one.
All right. Well, let me give folks a couple more seconds to see if there are any other questions, because I think we've fielded questions for probably almost about close to 15 minutes, and that's actually pretty good and really engaged. This is a lot of questions here. So it sounds like to me that there's been some interest has been piqued. At least I know my interest has been piqued for sure, because these are things that I've never really talked about. I tell people one of the places I go that I never knew where to push or pull the door, Iron Horse, coming out of Iron Horse.
I've had that same trouble.
I think it says pull, but I feel like you have to push it. It's confusing just to me. So, okay, so I see a question. How to apply to this program? I'm not sure what they're talking about there.
Just sign up for the course. It's not
Yeah,
a program,
maybe.
it's just the course. Just register for the course for next spring.
Yep. Okay, folks. Well, we appreciate the opportunity to visit with you, Robin and Amy. If you have any additional questions about the course, please feel free to reach out to Dr. Hensel and Dr. Hirshman. Their emails are robin.hensel@mail.wvu.edu and robin.hensel@mail.wvu.edu. An archived version of this course of this webinar will be available later on the Honors College website. So thank everyone for attending. Amy and Robin, thank you. This was very, very informative.
Thank you for
Thank
asking us
you.
to do this.
No problem. I will answer these questions here. But y'all can, it's fine. Y'all can take off. I will answer these questions. These are more program questions, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
No problem. Have a good evening, everybody.
You too. Have a good evening.
Everyone is now free to leave. We capture attendance via Zoom. So everyone have a good afternoon.